Right. Okay. Well, that is the other part of it. That's a great following question.
And then gradually realized the importance of this message at the time of Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi, and in about 300-400 different languages, the same tune. Da 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 da. So all over the world, everybody is familiar with this sound.
I would say some world-class musicians involved because I knew I needed help. And they all said, okay, what do you want me to do? And I said, I don't know. I was hoping you guys would know.
Rock and roll is also, they create music and it's a different kind of music.
Amjad Ali Khan Sahab, Ayan, Aman, and Mr. Joe Walsh. Pleasure having you with us on Bollywood Hungama. And congratulations for this unique collaboration. I genuinely feel that it's going to create waves all across the world. Amjad Sahab, if you would want to tell us something about how the concept came into existence in your mind.
You see, music, as I always say, the precious gift of God. And every human being is born with sound and rhythm. Some realize and some don't realize that. So we are very fortunate and we are very happy that we met Maestro Joe Walsh in Mumbai. And, for the Indian classical music, rock and roll, is a different world. But rock and roll is also, they create music and it's a different kind of music. And we thought we must try to communicate through Sarod and Mr. Maestro Joe Walsh. So we met and exchanged our musical ideas in Mumbai, in Taj Mahal Hotel. And then our journey began from there.
Mr. Walsh, I've heard all the three numbers. I think that the way Sarod and the guitar has been fused, and obviously tabla, the way it has been utilized, it's beautiful. You've collaborated with some of the finest artists in the world in the last 50 years, I believe. Your career has been spanning. How was the experience of collaborating with Mr. Amjad?
Well, it was a whole new learning experience for me. Indian music is so much, has so much more depth than what we do here. And I could not grasp all of that with just a couple visits. It's more like I need a whole lifetime to learn that. But of all the adventures and experiments I've done, this by far will be the most meaningful and the most enjoyable that I've had. Because the sarod is an instrument where you change the pitch with your left hand and it's a plucked instrument with your right hand, we had that much in common. And also because of that, we're kind of on the same place in the universe of music, because that's how we express ourselves. And that wasn't a whole lot to work with, but it was enough to attempt it. And that's what we wanted to do. We weren't sure what was going to happen. We didn't really have a plan, but with all things, if you let them happen naturally, that's the way it should be. and the way it should be is what happened. And I'm blessed to have these gentlemen in my life, and I'm blessed for the wisdom and that they have given me. And I think I'll leave it at that.
So, how do you respond to the unique texture of a rhythm instrument like tabla?
In Western music, we think in terms of 4. All of our music is 4 or 3. Waltzes are in 3. Classical music sometimes is 6. But, you know, all of our popular music is you count to 4. And if you're a musician here and you can count to 4, you're good to go. But that doesn't help much with Indian music. There are time signatures and pieces of music that have nothing to, 4 has nothing to do with it. And so Satnam was amazing. And at first I really tried technically to dissect what we were doing and write it down on a legal pad so I had organization. And that isn't what I needed. So at first I was terrified because I didn't know where 1 was. And everybody else did. It is really an obstacle at first if you try and comprehend technically the piece of music that you're attempting. If you just sit in it and relax and listen to what's going on around you, that's the key. And I had to learn that.
That's an amazing insight. All right, thank you, sir. Ayan and Aman, what was your first thought when you got to know that you guys will be collaborating with the great Joe Walsh? And obviously the solo of Hotel California must have been playing in your minds right through your lifetime, I'm sure, the way it has been with millions and millions of people all across the world.
You know, I think it's an honor and a pleasure whenever you share the stage, or you share a space with legends like Maestro Joe Walsh or my father, Ustad Amjad Ali Khan. So for Ayan bhai and me, it's an honor and a pleasure. We could, I think somewhere up there, someone is really kind to us that we got an opportunity to be a part of this beautiful, amazing project. And it's actually a beautiful project. It's a very melodious project. I mean, I'm too small a person to even comment on a project of this magnitude, but I think it's a complete sheer honor. And I'm just thankful to my father and to Maestro Joe Walsh for having us in this project.
And you'd like to say something about the amazing Hotel California solo that I'm sure that you guys must have flipped over right through your childhood and even now, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the music that I heard of Maestro Walsh, I mean, it was pretty much an anthem for all of us, and all the songs. And I thought that this would ever be a possibility, but I think things just happened, and the universe made it happen, and we were in the company of legends, like my brother said. Just to be in that studio, just observing my father and Maestro Walsh interact with each other, it's really a moment I'll cherish for the rest of my life. It's really being one of the most perhaps defining musical journeys for me. And I'd like to mention one quick anecdote about the whole project is that when we met in Mumbai, Maestro Walsh, he wanted to own a sarod, and he did. And, and that presentation moment turned into a jam session. And, we took those ideas into the studio in LA. But what did happen that when my father, my brother and I arrived for session 1, the instruments didn't arrive because we were, I think, coming from Vancouver Islands or something, and the instruments didn't arrive. So that sarod
which was in his home in LA, came to the rescue. And we ended up recording a few pieces on that instrument. And then finally, for the following sessions, we had our instruments. But, things just kind of fell in place. And it's truly been a very unique honor for me.
Amjad, if you can briefly talk about the three songs, Healing Love, We Shall Overcome, which I think all of us, we know as Hum Honge Kamyab.
You see, as Maestro Joe Walsh mentioned, that we had not planned anything. It just happened in the studio, because his home and the studio is so inspiring, and his kind, very warm hospitality, his wife Marjorie, and the atmosphere of the whole studio and the place where they live is so inspiring. And when Aman and they were young children, school, I had created an album of children, and there I played on my sarod this "We Shall Overcome," and then I gradually realized the importance of this message at the time of Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi, and in about 300-400 different languages, the same tune, da 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 da. So all over the world, everybody is familiar with this sound, and I think Healing Love, in some of the track, I just spontaneously started singing. And that never happened. I don't sing on the stage generally. I mean, very rarely. But in a studio, that piece, Healing Love, I just sang the way I wanted to sing. So, and some track, Aman, they have also played. And the tabla player he mentioned, Joji mentioned, Satnam. So everything, it was very spontaneous, which is in our music, as you know, that we can't identically perform the next concert. So every concert is tailored for that particular day, Indian music. But Western music, once it is written down, so they can perform identically every day. But Maestro Joe Walsh, he enjoys the improvisation, and his approach is very spontaneous. And I was not very familiar about rock and roll, but I used to admire listening to all kind of music and classical, Beethoven, Bach, Mozart. So, their recording engineer was so amazing, and the editing what they have done. So there were so many musicians involved. I'm sure you have their names. They are all outstanding. I think Maestro Joe Walsh would like to introduce them all, because they are all they are legends in their own field and their own way. It was a great honor for me and Aman, Ayad, all of us. We really enjoyed that moment and that visit. But as Maestro Joe Walsh said, just the beginning. It is the beginning of our relationship, and we hope we can do a lot. We can do a lot.
This album, I think, it's going to really become huge. Especially, I think the We Shall Overcome, the topicality is wonderful. I'll come to the cause very shortly, sir. But Maestro Walsh, as Amjad Sahab just mentioned about the singing that he broke into in Healing Love. So it sounds beautiful. The strains of classical vocals, and obviously the way guitar and sarod has blended is so amazingly beautiful that I think people are literally going to love it like anything. But sir, what are your thoughts on the classical vocal strain of Amjad Sahab? Because I think even that aspect of Indian music is extremely unique.
Yes, I agree. It's a whole different approach to singing it is spontaneous. It comes from a different part of the throat, and it comes from a different part of the spirit. And it was new to me, and my first thought was, how does he do that? And then my second thought was, boy, I wish I could do that. And there's no way to explain it or tell somebody what they need to know. I just had to be around him and watch him. And that's how you learn. You know, I got, I would say, some world-class musicians involved because I knew I needed help. And they all said, okay, what do you want me to do? And I said, I don't know. I was hoping you guys would know, you know? So, and that's how we went in. And the universe made it possible. And we didn't even know what we had till later when we listened back to see what we had done. And we went, wow. Wow. That's all we could say. Holy smokes. Because at the time, we weren't sure if it was any good or not, or if it was going to work. But because the universe gave us the opportunity to make that music, we decided to offer it back to the universe and the people that we care about. And those are all the people that helped the people that were sick, and that spirit around the world. And we just wanted to share what came through us and became music.
Right.
So I hope I said something, but now what do we do? You know, that's where we're at now. We know that this works and we want to take it somewhere. So it opened a whole new world to us, and we intend to continue our journey and maybe try and do some live concerts, maybe play for people in the future. So this isn't the end of the story, it's just the beginning.
Maestro Walsh, if you can please tell us something about the important cause that the album is espousing, especially the frontline workers, especially in the pandemic all across the world, the sort of amazing work that they've done, the sort of sacrifices that they've given. And I believe it's also dedicated for the cause of the Black Lives Matter as well.
There is a spirit of helping others. And it is a time of great sadness and sorrow for the entire world. And our thoughts and hearts go out to India because you're still in the middle of it. And all we can do is let you know that we care and that we are praying for everyone in India. But the people that helped and saved lives, and that spirit of helping someone else is what we're saluting. And we have a problem here, a racial problem that we've had the whole history of America. And that is Black Lives Matter. And for a long time, nothing like that was in the news. And we just kind of, America didn't look at that because it was ugly and we didn't want to deal with it. And now it's time to deal with it. And that is the same spirit I'm talking about. righting wrongs, saving lives, and one person helping another. That's the spirit that we're saluting, and we offer these songs to that spirit and everyone who made a difference in the past year.
Absolutely, sir. Amjad Sahab, I believe the proceeds of the album, I think they'll be going for a noble cause.
We never realized that the album will be useful and helpful for this situation, because we are all praying through our music that the planet should heal fast. We really want to travel. We really want to perform live concerts. As Maestro Joe Walsh said, that we would love to perform live all over the world. And we would like Mr. Joe Walsh and the entire team to come to India and perform live concerts in all the important cities of India.
Right. And Maestro Walsh, I would like to take this opportunity. Huge admirer of yours, obviously, sir, like millions and millions of others in India. So if you could please tell us something about the fact that your guitar solo in Hotel California, it's one of the all-time great solos ever. And it still resonates. It really happens that a song is remembered maybe more for the guitaring than maybe anything else whatsoever. Any thoughts, sir?
Well, thank you for that. And in retrospect, looking back, I can only say that creatively, the band was at a wonderful time, and we didn't agree on everything. We had we were all alpha males, and we were going to do things our way. And here's the way we're going to do it. And that's the way we all felt. And so we had arguments and we disagreed. But if you use that kind of tension constructively, artistically, you could create stuff that wouldn't happen otherwise. And Don Felder and I, when he started playing guitar, I said kind of, oh yeah, well, listen to this. And he said, oh, well, that's nice, but listen to this. You see what I mean? It was that kind of spirit. And we captured that on Hotel California.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Amjad Sahab.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.